All right, my friends, we are talking about energy entrainment. So this is an important topic and one that I have naturally done, but didn't know that that's what I was doing. So for example, when I lead a group meditation and I'm having everybody breathe with me and I'm settling my energy into a specific state, opening the channels, I'm actually leading that meditation in training everybody's energy, bringing in the highest vibrations. Why do you think you feel a certain way when you're with certain people? It's energetic entrainment. So they talk about, the moon. If you follow the cycles of the moon, your energy's been entrained to the moon because it's a more dominant energy. If we think about the 5 people that we surround ourselves with, if the 5 people you surround yourself with have a negative impact your energy becomes lower and lower, and it's a struggle to get back to where your normal state is. And also vice versa. If the 5 people around you are always looking for solutions, they're critical thinkers, they're positive, they're full of light and love, and those are the people that surround you, it will entrain your energy to that frequency, those emotions and those vibrations. So energy entrainment is powerful. This is important, particularly when we're talking about the mastery of self, and when we're talking about mastering our own energy, and we're talking about healing energy frequencies. So you can go to a meditation where your frequency is lowering in order to help the entrainment of the frequency that's in the circle. That has happened to me. Or maybe you go somewhere and you're actually the one protecting energetically the people in the circle that's being entrained by the person who's entraining it. That also can happen. Or a group thing, when they entrain the energy, if there's something negative to it, they're entraining that negativity with transference to everyone else. Also true. That doesn't happen all the time. I'm letting you know, particularly in spiritual communities, that those are things to be aware of. Discern and use your judgment in terms of your intuitive knowing and your energy. It will be accurate to let you know if something is for you or not for you, if something feels right or doesn't feel right, if something lifts you up or kind of makes you feel a little bit down or a little bit lower or a little bit heavier, maybe as a better term. Energetic entrainment is a scientific term, concept based in quantum physics. So energy entrainment is the act of, they say clocks. So if you put 2 clocks and they're grandfather clocks and the pendulums are swinging and they're swinging at different rates, they will actually entrain to each other and become synchronized. So the piece I was talking about, when you're in training, you have to lower your energy in order to help the entrainment of the circle, or you're protecting other people's energy, or just you feel heavier when you leave rather than lighter, which was the purpose of it. That can be an indicator that there is a dominant energy that is not for your highest good. It might be you might have a lady beside you who that dominant energy is slightly higher, and not in a hierarchy as in better or worse, but a slightly lighter vibration, a slightly higher consciousness. She benefits from that energetic entrainment. However, you, who is coming from up here, if your energy is not your own dominant energy, you have to dominate your own energy field, for lack of a better term. That's the best way I can put it. We want to dominate and fill our energetic field so that no one else's energy that is lower can entrain our energy and take over. I came in like a wrecking ball. That's the song I'm hearing with this. So when we're talking about energy and energy healing and healing energy frequencies, so when people come to a session or a reading with me, I am naturally attuning into their energy to gauge how am I helping them. It's not even something I think about doing. That's part of the healing energy and having the clarity. That's why people feel so good after they've had a reading with me, because I'm entraining their energy to the vibration of mine, which means I'm pulling out the stuff that doesn't work, and their higher self and their guides and their loved ones are coming through, sharing information that is of a higher consciousness, which also leaves you, the person who's getting the reading, walking away in a higher state, or having clarity or feeling just generally better. It's because I'm entraining the energy, because my energy is dominant going into those readings, because it needs to be, because I'm in service for that person. Now, when we go into group settings, it's even more important that you have the triple shield of universal protection or a bubble of light around you, divine power, so that your energy does not become entrained by an energy that's more dominant and is not for your highest good. You want to talk about codependency? That's in training. When we're in a relationship for too long and we know it's not good for us and we're trying to get out, they've entrained our energy. So not only is it exhausting for us to be entrained in that lower density or vibration, it takes just as much energy to get us back up to the frequency we are at when we're not with them, only to have it go back and forth and back and forth. We don't need to have that exhaustion. We are being called at this time to remove, or I'm hearing divine intervention will remove anything that is not in a resonance, entrainment with your energy. That's why it's important that we focus on mastering our own energy and don't worry about anybody else's energy, because we want to entrain our own energy with our I am presence, fully threaded throughout our entire bubble, our body, all of those things, so that when somebody else comes along who has a dominant energy that is not good for us, it's not going to bowl us over. This is particularly true for those of you who are acutely sensitive empaths and you tend to feel other people's emotions and things like that. It's important because you want to be the dominant energy as a light worker, because you are in places where it's kind of dark. If you're a light worker, it's also a light vibration, whereas there's dense, heavier vibrations. You need your energy to be the dominant energy so that your energy entrains the energy around you or completely blocks it out, rather than having somebody else's dominant negative energy push into your energetic field. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why we have the Holy Trinity of Self, filling the vessel with your own energy, your own thought forms, your own I am presence is the most powerful. So if you think about, I'm hearing there's a guru. Somebody sent me a documentary a while ago, and it was about a guru in India, but the man did not like to be called a guru. He didn't believe in that, which is in alignment with me. I resonate with that. I don't believe in that either. We are our own gurus, in truth. We truly are. And we just have people set up along the way helping us to realize we are our own guru. We are our own I am presence. We are divinity incarnated. So in this documentary, all we need to do is sit near this man, and suddenly I feel peace and I feel clarity and understanding. And it lasts for, I don't know whether it just lasted while they were in his vicinity, lasted for days afterwards. But this man's I am presence, the vibrational frequency of his embodied vessel. So here's the thing, his spirit's vibrational frequency fully embodied in his vessel created a magnetic field that was easily entrained other people just by existing into that state. It is the same whether it is a positive high vibrational state or a negative low vibrational dense state. This is why we're learning to master our energy. This is why the teachers are coming in and teaching, because energy entrainment is an important facet. It is how we are controlled and conditioned by systems and societies and schools. It's entraining energy. Everybody do the same thing. And when it gets really, really hard to break out of it, you're going to be so tired of trying to break out of that entrainment that you just go along with it because you don't have it in you anymore. So Ram Dass is pointing at me and Ava's giggling now. When I'm parenting, they're saying when I'm parenting, so my style of parenting after Ava dying and, being exhausted and my life force energy being drained and being so sick I can barely move and not having a spousal support, this energetic support there, but doing the opposite, taking more energy. What happened was, Ram Dass, I was so exhausted that I could not function for myself in my energy, that when my children decided they wanted things to be a different way, or they wanted it to be their way, I did not have it in me to fight with them. It was easier for me to just pick up the slack and do it. Not because I didn't think it was valuable that they learn to do it, and not because I wanted to do it, but because I did not have enough life force energy. My energy, my I am presence was not entrained and embodied enough in my vessel and in my subtle energy fields for me to be able to stand up and face that and stand my ground. These are all interconnected. Ram Dass, there's a reason, he says, there's a reason why I'm giving you this example, Erin. He says, you're both learning so that you can have compassion for yourself in terms of parenting, where you think you may have gone wrong or done something wrong, or they're acting in a certain way, or maybe you were the person that did too much for them and now they're entitled, and now you're trying to undo that. So that's, for me personally, those experiences, we all have them in different ways, shapes, and forms, and not everybody's is the same. But Ram Dass is saying this is because your energy was entrained to fight something that was a dominant energy. And you're fighting the dominant energy, which is exhausting. But if you don't have enough life force energy running through you, have not embodied your I am presence, you are not clear in your subtle energy bodies and have wrapped yourself in light and opened your full energetic field, awakened your spirit, aligned your energetic vessel, and embodied the I am presence. When we don't have that, by the time we are exhausted from fighting it, we no longer have the energy to stand firm in that thing that we did, or that we need to do, or need to have the energy to do. And then we just fall into that entrainment because we don't have the capacity at the time, or the tools we need, or the support that we needed to be able to do it. So whoever is beating themselves up, anything like that, give yourself a pat on the back. You have been trying to unentrain, unbind, unchain, decondition yourself from a massive entrainment. That's not easy. It's not easy. And particularly when you're doing it with children, I'm being told children. They're referencing the children of light. You're a child of light too. So you're the next generation that says, I don't want that for my child. I don't want for my child this aspect of what I had, or this facet of the system, or this entrainment that isn't for their highest good, or this, and this. Give yourself a pat on the back is what I'm very clearly being told. It is so important that you do that and you have compassion when you understand what you were actually up against, because we think, oh, it's just me and it's my fault and it's my energy and I can't do it. What we fail to recognize, or rather what is hidden from us intentionally, is the fact that you need to strengthen your energy and pull away from that in your I am presence, which is the mastery of self. Because without that, you will be entrained to such a big system. It is difficult when you have nobody supporting you to fight whatever that fight is, whether it's a generational pattern, whether it's an addiction, whether it's a codependency, whether it's a system that is bringing you down instead of lifting you up. It doesn't matter what the context is. It's the recognition of you require full steam ahead. You require your full energy, your full I am presence. As above, so below. Think of the tree. You're the trunk. This is spirit, all the branches, and all the roots, right? Mind, body, spirit. They are all interconnected. You are the vessel that is connecting them in the 3D form. Now that you've understood all these things about your energy, now you have to understand this piece. And although they go hand in hand, for some reason it is coming in the healing energy frequencies. And I believe it's coming in the healing energy frequencies section, because so many people are looking for healing energies, teachers, different styles and modalities, and dipping into those things. You need to be aware of your dominant energy and I am presence in order to be guided to the things that are accurate for you, especially when it comes to people with dominant energies in spiritual communities and different things like that. There's still egos in spiritual communities. There's still people who have hidden agendas in spiritual communities. Just because it's spiritual and just because it says it's light does not mean it is of the highest And I say highest light, not as in it's a hierarchy. I mean more expanded consciousness that has evolved in the I am presence. Because anything that takes away your power or tells you that you need to do something, or you need them to be in your power, is usually somebody, false light is usually somebody that's in a false light. The purpose of spiritual communities is not to tell you what your belief should be, but rather to empower you in your own intuitive knowing and bringing that forth, giving you a sentence here or a puzzle piece there. So this is why I say you are your own guru. Everyone is their own guru. In order for somebody to be my guru and have all my answers and do everything that I need to do, they would have to be me. They would have to have lived my entire experience in order to be my 1100% guru. To have all my answers, you would have to have lived my life as me, in my experience, in my perspective. Now, if we look at it like this, I look at all the spiritual teachers, and I have a lot of spiritual teachers show up in sessions and in readings. Usually the spiritual teacher that shows up in the session and the reading always happens to be the one that the person coming for the reading or the clearing or the session has actually been engaging in that work. So for example, Wayne Dyer. If somebody is reading Wayne Dyer's books and learning from them and they come to a reading for me, Wayne Dyer shows up. That's just how it is. This is called personas of spirit. That's a whole other thing, which we will talk about. And that is energy entrainment in a nutshell.